Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So I am Izzatul Fariha binti Basri from Universitas Erlangga.
Wait a minute.
So today I'm making this video for my final assignment for the course Psychopathology entitled Schizophrenia. So in this video, I will explain about how to help people with schizophrenia. So in the first part of this video, I will tell about what people with this problem need, and the second part, I will tell about what can we do to help them fulfill their need. So now we will go through to my first part. So this is what I got from an empirical study entitled "What do individuals with schizophrenia need to increase their well-being?", which this study interviewed 7 patients of schizophrenia. In this qualitative study, they are asked to describe what they need in order to increase their well-being in everyday life. So the results shows that there are 5 categories in striving for a normal life and describing help needed by patients with schizophrenia in order for them to sustain their well-being. So the first one is receiving information about the illness. The second one is taking part in secure professional relationships. Third is taking part in social context. Fourth is having a meaningful employment, and the last one is receiving help with practical matters during psychotic relapse. Okay, so the first category is receiving information about the illness. So they stress on the importance of receiving the information about their illness, including for the society and relatives too. They felt lack of information about what it really meant if they are diagnosed with schizophrenia, and they were asking for more information about their illness. Respondents described experiencing a lack of information about the various support activities available because they need to know about what help there is to be had. Respondents spoke about the positive experience of having undergone some form of patient education in groups. So by having an opportunity to sit and discuss face-to-face with professionals, they feel easier to deal with their personal problem and talks about the illness. So actually they felt very ashamed to have schizo and not wanted to tell anybody. So talking to professional really helped them. So interviewees also felt that society held prejudice against people with schizophrenia and other psychotic disease, and they felt that they were being negatively treated by the society because of their illness. Therefore, they were asking for information about the illness to society and relatives too. Okay, interviewees also had experienced rejection due to the disease, even from family and friends. So they called for a greater information and understanding from the society and also from their family, because their family is the most close person with them. So some said their relatives have been informed about the psychotic disease. So this is perceived as very positive, that this information will help their family to support them. Okay, for the second category is they need to take part in secure relationship with the professionals. The interviewee described that they need a continuity in a relationship and wish to be heard and seen by the professionals. So several respondents also told that they had a history of meeting many different healthcare contexts, but this finally evoked insecurity in them. So they told that being frequently faced with new people are so stressful, because one of them also said that every time they meet a new person, it's like meeting a new universe. So it's good for them to meet the same person for their appointment. So next, one of the respondents also emphasized how important people who listen and see them as individuals, very receptive, and could see their needs and understood them. Even when they did not meet the professionals very often, a regular personal and long-term contact with the same professional can make them feel safe and useful. Okay, the third category is they need to take part in social contacts. Interviewees also spoke about the risk of becoming lonely and isolated and how important the opportunity of social contact for their well-being. Therefore, they were glad if they received home visits. The respondents that regularly visited meetings, places for people with psychiatric problems, perceived that this type of local gave a sense of community and opportunity to share their experiences together. The interviewees also spoke that they tend to isolate themselves, especially when they felt unwell. So they were hoping for someone to come to their home to help them out of their isolation when they are not well. Next is the fourth category, that they need to have a meaningful employment. All of those interviewed had some form of work, which one of them full-time employed and the others work part-time with employment arranged by the social insurance office. They stressed the importance of having something to occupy themselves during the day, either during other work and other activities. Working could fulfill several functions, and it was perceived as a way to avoid illness and psychosis, and also as a motivator to recover from relapse. Otherwise, job also made them feel needed as part of the community. Okay, so the last category is the fifth category, is they need help with practical matters during the psychotic relapse. The respondent described that while having a psychotic relapse, they had problems in taking care or managing their home. So, therefore, they need help with the household matters such as cleaning, cooking, and also managing their money. So now we already completed the 5 category of what people with schizophrenia need. So now we will move to the second part, which is my last part in this video, which is what we can do to help people with schizophrenia. So maybe you are wondering if one of your family members or your friend has schizophrenia, how do you help them? So if you have a loved one with schizophrenia, you may struggling with many number of difficult emotion, anger, guilt, fear, and frustration. You may feel very helpless in the face of your loved one's symptom. Sometimes you may feel worried about the stigma of schizophrenia and confused and also embarrassed by the strange behaviors. You may even be tempted to hide them from others because you feel ashamed with them. So now I will share with all of you about how can we help them and how we help ourselves to help them who has this schizophrenia problem. So here are some tips that may help you. So the first tip is educate yourself first. For me, it's important to educate yourself even there's no one you know diagnosed with schizophrenia, because maybe one day onwards, people around you or maybe yourself will experience this. So learning about schizophrenia and its treatment will allow you to make informed decisions about how best to cope with the symptoms, encourage your loved one to pursue self-help strategies, handle setbacks, and work towards recovery. You will also help with the stigma and the negativity towards this disease. The second tip is encourage treatment and self-help. As we know, medication is a very important element in treating schizophrenia. So your loved one recovery depends on other factors as well. Self-help strategies such as healthy diet, managing stress, exercise, and seeking social support may help one's symptoms, feeling, and self-esteem. The more someone does for themselves, the less they feel helpless and hopeless. They will feel, and the more likely their doctor will reduce their medication because maybe they will feel better. Your encouragement and support are very crucial to your loved one in starting and continuing their self-help program. You can slowly try to convince them to see the doctor, and a good way to comfort them and to suggest them is to focus on a particular symptom such as insomnia, other than the symptom as delusional or hallucination, because they might resist seeing the doctor that they are so fear of being judged and labeled as crazy. Okay, tips 3 is monitor medication. Careful monitoring can ensure that the schizophrenia patients stay on track and get the most out of the medication. Take side effects seriously. Many people with schizophrenia stop taking their medication because of the side effect. You can tell any distressing side effect to the doctors, who may able to switch to another antipsychotic, reduce the dose maybe, or add medication to counter the side effect. Don't forget to encourage your loved one to take medications regularly. Even with the side effect under control, some people with schizophrenia tend to refuse to take their medication, and they have trouble remembering their daily dose. So medication calendars, weekly pill boxes, and timers may help you. Some medication are also available as long-lasting weekly or monthly injections instead of daily pills. So you should pay attention to that. Tips number 4 is take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of others, right? So schizophrenia can place an incredible amount of stress in your family or in yourself. So it can take over your life and burn you out. And if you are stressed, you will make the patient with schizophrenia more stressed and trigger their symptoms. First, you can connect with others. Social interaction with someone who cares about you is the most effective ways to relieve your stress. You can tell them about how you feel to help you release and not to keep it in your heart. It's important for both of you, the person with schizophrenia, to have other people you can connect and talk face to face, who is someone you can talk for an interrupted period of time, someone who will listen without judging you. That person would be your friend, family members, or professional therapists. Next is you can practice acceptance. You should accept all your feelings, even the negative one, instead of only dwelling on the unfairness of your loved one's diagnosis. So this can make a huge difference in your ability to manage stress and balance your mood. Okay. Last but not least, tip number 5, which is watch for signs of relapse. Stopping medication is the most